In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for any older Jeffersons from before 1960, which includes war nickels. We'll also be looking for buffaloes or anything earlier. We'll also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, heirs or varieties, or any other cool things we can find. There is one ender in this box. It's just a 1954 nickel, but we'll see the mint mark when we get to it, and hopefully that's a good sign for the box. And let's start opening rolls, and I'll bring you in when we have the first find. First roll, and we already have two 40s Jeffersons. Oldest was a 1942. Knew it wasn't silver, and it's out of Philly. Second is a corroded 1946 out of Philly. Probably a maladetecting find. Roll number 7, and we have our first nickel from the 50s, and it's just a 1957 out of Philly. Next roll has the 54 under, so I'll see if there's anything else with it. Roll number 8, there's nothing else besides the 1954 ender, and it is minted in Denver. Roll number 9, and we have another 40s nickel, and it is a damaged 1941 out of Philly. Roll 11, and we have a couple more nickels from the 50s. First is a 1954 out of Denver, and then the next is a 1958 that's also out of Denver. Next roll, roll number 12, and there's a discard edge, so I picked it up, and it was a 1940, and it's out of San Francisco. 14th roll in, and we have another older Jefferson, but it's just a 1958 out of Denver. Next roll, roll 15, had a couple more older Jeffersons. First is a pretty beat up 1941 out of Philly. Second is another damaged 1959 out of Denver. Roll 16, and we have another nickel from the 40s, and it's a pretty nice 1946 minted in Denver. Roll number 18, and we have another older Jefferson, and it is a 1956 from Denver. Roll number 21, and we have another 40s nickel, and this one is a 1940 minted in Philly. Roll number 22, and we have a pretty cool foreign find. It is a Bermuda nickel with Elizabeth II on it, and it has the fish on the back, 5 cents, and it's from 2004. That's pretty cool. Roll 26. And we have a 1958 out of Denver. Roll number 27, and we're only a few coins in the roll, and I just uncovered this beautiful reverse with an S mint mark. Since it has an S, it's going to be from 1954 or earlier. If it's a 38 or 39, it's going to be a key date. Let's reveal the date. 1940, San Francisco. Pretty nice condition. That's still an awesome find. Roll 28, we have a couple 40s nickels. We have a 1940 and a 1941, and both are from Philly. Roll 29, and we have our second foreign, first from Canada, and it's from 1988. Roll 30, and we have one from the 40s and one from the 50s. First, a 1941, minted in Philly, and a 1955 from Denver. Roll 32, and we have another older Jefferson, and it's a pretty nice 1959 minted in Denver. Roll number 34, and we're going to have silver in the box. So let's open this roll, and we have a war nickel edge right here. Yes, it is. It is a 1943 San Francisco. Pretty slick, but silver is silver, and that's an awesome find. Same roll as that war nickel. Two more good finds. First, we did get a 1939, but it's just a common Philly and it's not the DDR. And a 1985 Canadian nickel. Roll 35, and we have a couple more older Jeffersons. A 1949 out of Philly and a 1956. It's also out of Philly. Roll 36, and we have some more 40s nickels. 1946 Philadelphia and a 1948 Denver. Roll 38, and we have a 1941 minted in Denver. Next roll, roll 39, we have a couple 50s nickels. First, a pretty beat up 1954 out of Denver, and a 1959 out of Denver as well. Just picked up roll number 40, flipped it around, and we do have a Canadian ender. So we'll open it up and see if there's anything else with it. Nothing else in that roll, but that Canadian ender was in 1984, and it's the fourth foreign of the box. Roll 43, and we had a few different finds. Had two nickels from 1948, and both are out of Philly. And we have a 1983 Canadian. Roll number 45, and we have a 1956, 1957, and 1958, and they're all out of Denver. Roll number 50 had a 1958 out of Denver and the first 2009 out of the box, even though it's pretty beat up. Now let's go on to the wrap up. Nickel box has been hunted. Let's go over the finds. We had 19 S-mints, which is a little bit more than normal. Found 5 foreigns, 4 of which were Canadian from 1983 through 1988. And then the other foreign was a Bermuda 5 cents from 2004. That's my first one, so that's pretty cool. We did have one 2009 in the last roll, although it was pretty beat up. Older Jeffersons, we did have 35, ranging from 1939 through 1959. Did have a couple nice ones in there, like this 59 Denver and that 1940S, so that one's probably an upgrader. And the find of the box was the 1943 San Francisco 35% silver war nickel. Overall, this was a great nickel box.